Hey, what's up? This is JBAT, and today I will be doing a review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation. And just like the previous comic adaptations, Batman Returns, it's exactly like those, It's like well made, it's exactly like the film. You wouldn't even need to read, the comic adaptation. And it's pretty good. The artwork is well done on it. So this will be my review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation. And this is JBAT. Hey, what's up? It's me, JBAT. And today I'll be doing a review for the official comic adaptation of Batman Forever. And this is the third film in the original Batman film franchise. And this one was released in 1995. Now I remember getting this when the film was out, like at a local comic book store. I had picked this up. So yeah, this is my review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation of the film. Now the opening of the comic is kind of different from the film, what I'm saying? It opens with Two-Face escaping from Arkham Asylum. Now that wasn't in Batman Forever, the film directed by Joel Schumacher. It wasn't originally in the film, what I'm saying? The film didn't open that way. Now it did open with Batman confronting him at the bank or whatever it was. But in the comic book, it opens with Two-Face actually escaping from Arkham Asylum, and that wasn't in the movie. So there was a big difference right there between the comic adaptation and and plus some of the scenes in Batman Forever, the comic adaptation, were kind of out of order from how they were in the film. Because like in the film, after this happens, after Batman confronts Two-Face at Arkham Asylum, he did meet Edward Nygma. Right after that, how you met Edward Nygma at his like Wayne facility thing, the scientist stuff, when he met him there. Now in the film, that wasn't like that. He didn't meet Edward till like much later. So it was like the scenes were even kind of out of order. So not only did the comic adaptation open different from the film, even some of the scenes in the comic adaptation were kind of out of order compared to how they were in Batman Forever, the film, Like the scene where Nygma pushes his boss out the window, the Riddler, when he pushed him out the window, it was kind of different. It didn't happen that fast, Like it does like in the film, like in the comic adaptation, it kind of happens kind of fast, Also, like the Batmobile, had like the cool like blue lights, especially when it's like from the side view, It had like the cool blue lights. Like in the comic adaptation, the lights are like red. They had like a red color instead of it being blue. So I thought that was kind of odd. And like I said, and other things too, like the flying Grayson scene, like where Robin's origin is told. His parents' death wasn't that bloody in the film, whereas in the comic adaptation, it's like bloody and stuff. Plus, they didn't show Edward Nygma choosing his outfit and the name Riddler in the comic adaptation, whereas in the film, he was having trouble. Jim Carrey as the Edward Nygma, he was having trouble choosing a costume and what kind of name, he would be called, But in the comic adaptation, he didn't have that at all, Plus, when Bruce Wayne is with Chase Meridian at Edward Nygma's like party thing he had, where he was showing off his box thing, they can do the virtual reality thing. And the comic adaptation, Bruce Wayne, he puts the box on, but he didn't go into the room like he did on Batman Forever, the film, when like Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne walked into the room thing, then the thing was going all through his head, and it saw that he had like bats on the mind, so of course you knew who he was. He was Batman, Now in the comic adaptation, they didn't have all that, Plus, Robin's costume in the comic is more like the traditional Robin suit. It's actually like red and green. It looks more like that, It isn't like the dark reddish color, that I thought was cool in the film. It's not like that. Like in the comic adaptation, it's actually like kind of based on like, the original look of how Robin really looks. And various other things too, like towards the end when Batman threw a batarang up and like at the Riddler's like box thing, like his giant box thing, and blew it all up. It's kind of different in the comic adaptation. In the comic adaptation, instead of him throwing a batarang, he just makes it shoot out his utility belt. So that was kind of like another little slight difference, from what was in the movie, And plus, towards the end of the film, instead of Batman and Robin like running towards the camera, they actually are on a goggle. In the comic adaptations, they're actually on a goggle. So you can kind of tell right there that maybe that's how it was originally going to be, you know. Like the actual film adaptation was originally going to be like that. I mean, like the actual film itself, but they changed certain, maybe Joe Schumacher or whoever changed certain things around in the film. So in the comic adaptation, it was kind of different, you know. But other than that, it was just like Batman and Batman Returns, the official comic adaptations, you know. I don't want to spoil too much. Oh yeah, Dennis O'Neil, he returned as the writer again. But this time you had like new artists in it this time. You had a penciler, Michael Dukowicz. You had an inker, Scott Hanna, a colorist, Adrienne Roy, and a letterer was Albert D. Gusman. Plus the cover painting was by John Hanna. And again, just like the previous two, like I mentioned before, you wouldn't even have to actually watch the film. If you read this, there would be no need to actually watch Batman Forever if you actually read like the comic adaptation of this, you know what I'm saying? And it looks cool. And again, I thought the artwork is still, for some reason, just like Batman Returns, they're not as good as they seem like the first Batman comic official adaptation, you know what I'm saying? From 89, it's still like none of them were that good, you know. Not like Val Kilmer, it looks like Val Kilmer, you know, as Bruce Wayne. The artwork, it looks like, you know, Tommy Jones looks like Harvey Dent, you know what I'm saying? Two-Face. The Jim Carrey looks like Edward Nygma, the really, you know, they look all like him, you know. Chase Meridian, or Nicole Kidman, or like Alfred, Michael Garfield, like Commissioner Gordon, Pat Hingle. They all look like their counterparts, you know what I'm saying? But, oh yeah, no, Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson, Robin. They all look just like their counterparts, but it's still kind of like, for some reason, it still doesn't seem as good as the first, you know what I'm saying, Batman 89 official comic adaptation. But yeah, this is my review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation. And this is JBAT. Alright. Okay, as you can see, this is the official comic adaptation of Batman Forever. You can see a nice cover, you know, Batman, Robin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and the Batmobile, you know. Cool cover. And I've had this since Batman Forever was released in 1995. I remember getting this comic adaptation when it was actually out at the time the film was out. I picked it up from a comic book store. Plus I was still reading comic books a lot at the time too, you know. So yeah, this is it. And also, as you can see on the back, it had Chase Meridian, you know, who was played by Nicole Kidman. And again, Dennis O'Neil, he returned as the writer. But you had like new artists in this version though. You had a penciler, Michael Dukowicz. The inker was Scott Hanna, and the colorist was Adrienne Roy, and then the lettering was Albert D. Gusman. Plus the cover painting was by John Hanley. So yeah, these were like various images from the comic itself, you know. These were like various images, you know. And like the actors, you know, like the artwork looks exactly like the actors, you know, from the film. There's like various scenes. So he did a good job. But again, to me, it still seems like this wasn't running with the original like Batman '89 comic adaptation. That one to me is still like the best of the bunch, you know. In my opinion, it still was like the best of the bunch, but it still was good nevertheless, you know. Good artwork done on this comic adaptation. So yeah, this is JBAT, and this is my review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation. Okay. In the end, Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation, is an excellent read, you know. It's exactly like how the film was, like panel for panel, screen for screen, dialogue for dialogue. Certain scenes were out of order, you know, and certain events that happened in the comic adaptation didn't happen in the film, such as Two-Face escape from Arkham Asylum in the intro that wasn't in the film. But I thought the artwork was well done, you know, in this. So this will be my review for Batman Forever, the official comic adaptation. And this is JBAT. Alright.